Well, we all know that summer in the PNW brings lots of outdoor activities, and something as simple as walking on an uneven surface can cause a painful, debilitating injury. If you're like me and you're jogging, you're like, oh, please don't let this be the day. Well, to explore the causes, symptoms, and treatment options for ankle sprains and instability is Dr. Adam Sangeorzan at EvergreenHealth Orthopedic and Sports Care. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
You don't realize how important your ankles are until something's wrong. And then you're like, I can't do anything. So can you share a little bit about what kind of ankle injuries that you see and what are the most common causes?
Sure. So ankle injuries is a really broad topic, so I think it's easier to break them down into tissue types that can be injured. You can have broken bones, which we call fractures. You can have sprains, which are injuries to the ligaments, which are the bone-to-bone soft tissue connection that stabilizes your joints. And of course, you can have tendon injuries, like an Achilles tendon injury or a peroneal tendon injury, to name a couple. And you know, they can happen in a number of ways. They can be low energy or high energy injuries. Low energy, like stepping on a Lego, rolling your ankle, jogging, rolling your ankle, or hiking, or even high energy, like falling off a ladder or a car. But the most common is an ankle sprain, which is, if you don't mind me showing you, it's just an inversion injury to your ankle where you roll your ankle in and injure the ligaments on the outer part.
Okay, show us again what happens. So you're walking.
Yeah, an inversion injury. So you're walking and you misstep and your ankle turns in like this. And the ligaments are the soft tissue connection between the fibula and the talus, and the fibula and the calcaneus, or your heel bone, are the most commonly injured.
So, you know, it's not just the bone cracking or fractures, it's the ligaments that can really cause problems.
Absolutely.
This is so fascinating. All right, let's talk a little bit more about ankle instability. Like, what is it and how does it differ from like, an ankle injury? How is instability different from injury?
Sure. So if you're talking to an orthopedic surgeon and you say ankle instability, what I think of is the symptom that the patient describes of feeling like their ankle is loose or floppy, or they don't trust their ankle, or they feel like they're going to roll their ankle. They also will sometimes give a story of, hey, I roll my ankle several times a year and it's a really big problem for me. And that's what we think of as chronic instability or problematic instability. You can also have acute instability after you roll your ankle just once, or maybe you've done it twice in your life and your ankle feels unstable for several weeks. The good news is that kind of instability usually can be treated with rehab. You can do physical therapy. You can work on strengthening the peroneal tendons, which turn your foot the opposite way of inversion. They turn the foot up and out. And you can also work on something that we call proprioception, which is your body's sense of where your ankle is in space. For example, if I close my eyes and I go like this, I know the position that my wrist is in. You can actually train that, and that has been shown to help prevent future ankle rolls.
That's some next level stuff right there.
You get a good physical therapist, it can be really helpful.
Wow, that's so cool. Okay, I have so many more questions. By the way, I've never been so self-conscious as walking in here in my heels. And now, as I get older, when I wear heels, I do feel that instability.
And that may be because you've rolled your ankle in the past, or maybe you just need to strengthen up those tendons on the outside of your ankle.
All right, so when is it time for me to see the doctor?
I think that's a really good question. Nobody wants to go see the doctor. Nobody wants to go to the emergency department or urgent care. But I think things that you can do is, after you have an ankle injury, gather yourself, make sure there's nothing obviously wrong with your ankle in terms of, you know, it looks funny or you have a big open wound. And then the first thing to do is try to stand up and put a little bit of weight on it.
Can we, before I let you go, since you're here and I need to strengthen my ankles, what are some exercises you can do?
Sure. So I think the key things are that we often tell patients after an acute injury is to do the ABCs, meaning you spell the alphabet by moving your foot and spelling the ABCs. That just gives you a range of motion task to do. And the more important thing for at least strength and stabilization over the long term is strengthening the peroneal tendons, where you do eversion exercises where you take your foot and you turn it out, potentially against a resistance band. Or practice standing on one foot on an exercise ball, as you may see athletes doing as they're rehabbing.
The half exercise ball thing. Yes,
exactly.
I've seen
just
that.
Like that.
That's cool. Y'all don't see me. I'm actually doing what he says right now under the set, and I'm gonna throw these heels out immediately. And there are so many things that can cause an injury. And my grandmother has her Achilles is totally swollen because she's got a hip problem, and it's all balanced. So it's all about listening to your body, right?
It is. And you can do prevention things by just being aware of your environment, looking where you're putting your foot, wearing the appropriate shoes for the appropriate environment. For example, if you're hiking, don't wear a running shoe that's stacked up and supportive of your foot but has no support of your ankle.
Yes.
Wear a lace-up hiking boot.
I always do. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for having
I
me.
hope y'all learned something too. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Evergreen Health Foot and Ankle Care provides surgical and non-surgical options for a variety of conditions that we just talked about, both common and complex. To learn more, visit the website you see right there on your screen.
This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by Evergreen Health.